So when you do score a touchdown, they count as 2. They don't count as 1. So that's what I'm looking forward to see.
Yes, you have 2 great defenses on display and some struggling offenses on display because you've got the 15th ranked offense in Minnesota in the Big Ten and the 17th ranked offense in Iowa's. There are only 18 teams in the Big Ten. These are both, so they're going to struggle. But that to me is why the point total is so low. When we talked to PJ Fleck earlier today, he said, hey, you're going to have to strap your chin strap even tighter in this one. It's going to be a fist fight. And it is. Turnovers will be at a premium. Red zone possessions at a premium. You know, if a field goal might be a really good possession. A punt and punting them deep, pinning them back might be a really good possession. So it's going to be a tightly fought, hardly fought game today.
Yeah, we expect that all the time from an Iowa team, but for Minnesota, they've been playing really good defense.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. When you look at both of these logos, I think about hard-nosed football. I'm thinking about great defense on both sides of the ball. Like Danny, like B-Mac said, you talk about an offense, to say the least, that's struggling in the Big Ten. Both 2 teams are at the bottom of the Big Ten. But when you're talking about an offensive game plan that's going to give a team an edge in here, I got to go with Iowa because of the quarterback and the +1 running game, already over 1,300 rushing yards as a total for the team. And then Minnesota on the other side, they can't run the ball to save their lives up until this point, under 1,000 yards, and we passed the halfway point of the season. This is going to be a game of field position, defense, and who can control the line of scrimmage.
When you're a quarterback and you go into a game like this, BMAC mentioned it, I mean, every possession is going to be so important. You know you're going to be fighting for your life. What is that mindset going into a defensive battle like this from a QB perspective?
I think it's the field position game. It's the field position game, and knowing that punts is going to be a part of it. And then, you know, it's a saying that if you end every possession with a kick, you have a great chance of winning that ball game. Yeah. So like B-Mac said, who is going to make the least amount of mistakes, especially at that quarterback position, where it's not a game where you see a lot of playmakers on the perimeter for either of these teams. So as I'm a quarterback, I'm going to here, keep my team in third down and manageable situations and maximize the least amount of, maximize the opportunities you're going to have to be in the score position all through the game.
Emily, that was an impossible question to ask Cardale. He never had to play on a team like this. He had weapons around him. He was throwing it around the yard, you know? But I think he nailed it on the head. This is one, even a sack sometimes can be a good thing. You just don't want to try to do too much and make something out of nothing. A sack, a throwaway. Field position will be utmost importance today.
We're talking field position, kicking battle, point total, all these things. That makes me think about our friends, Mackenzie and Mikey, over in the other studio. Guys, what's your best bet for this game?
We've been thinking about this one. This is tough because, A, we like to bet on overs. I do feel like with the total being this low, it's also very hard for Iowa to cover this spread for any type of defensive game. 8.5 is a lot of points. So we're over the spread. We're over the total. Mikey, tell them where we went.
Yeah, I've had a hyperfixation with one Darius Taylor, the running back from Minnesota. He missed the beginning of this year, but if Minnesota can open up holes and lanes for this kid, I think that is how not only can they cover the spread, but they can win this game. And I feel like holding this pen makes me feel smarter.
Nice.
And Darius Taylor touchdown today is +130, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, we're going player prop. We're going Slayton touchdown here. And hopefully that's one of few touchdowns we do get in this game.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You see Darius Taylor go in the end zone, you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they gave that out. And Minnesota's covering the spread at the same time. Row the boats.
Yep.
There we go. Cash it. Yeah, PJ Fleck told us that Darius Taylor is the best player on their team. Absolutely electric on offense. But this is what's happening right now in the AP Top 25 scoreboard. What's making you go, woo, Danny?
Indiana, just putting a smackdown on UCLA. They continue to do that. The other thing is Virginia, North Carolina. Virginia's a team that's been getting a lot of love recently and potentially, you know, a dark horse playoff contender. They are struggling right now in Chapel Hill. They need to take control of this game against a very, very average North Carolina defense. So Virginia's got some work to do.
Yeah, undefeated in the ACC. Other undefeated in the ACC, Georgia Tech taking care of business. Let's go to a top 15 showdown. Ole Miss traveling to Norman for, get this, the first time ever. So we have number 8 Ole Miss, number 13 Oklahoma. Go to the first quarter, all tied up at 3 apiece. Kewan Lacey, just get used to hearing this man's name. Untouched into the end zone, so Ole Miss taking a 10-3 lead. Brent Venables, not a fan of the tackling or lack thereof. Early second quarter, same score though. John Mateer hits a wide open Isaiah Satania. He flies down. Nobody's catching this guy.
Got a good stride length.
76 yards to the house. So we're all tied up at 10 apiece. This one looking to be a very good football game. But let's go to the next Sooners drive. 1st and 12, pinned on their own 3. And down he goes in the end zone. We got a safety.
Quarterbacks, y'all got to talk about the play call.
Yeah, starting off in the
All he wants to
shotgun,
talk
first
about.
of all, deep in your end zone made no sense.
Don't love that.
Don't.
This makes sense though. Might as well
Lacey?
just, yeah.
Just
If
walk
it's
into the end
working,
zone.
Yep.
give it to Kejuan Lacey. Ole Miss would lead it 22-10 at the half. I know our crew is itching to talk about some of the play calling, the decision making from Lane Kiffin, but his squad is up 22-10 as the third quarter starts. I'm going to toss it over to BMAC though, because you're getting really heated there as we're watching this game. Some goal line decision making from Lane Kiffin. What do you see?
No question in the second half.
Second
Ole Miss,
quarter.
second quarter, they just got a 4th down stop on Oklahoma, driving down the length of the football field. Trinidad Chambliss was dealing, wheeling and dealing, making plays happen with his legs. Clearly, he was in the rhythm. The entire offense was in the rhythm. You're up 2 points right now. You're playing with house money. You look, Trinidad Chambliss is not in the game. That's actually Austin Simmons. He was standing the entire first half, and then you throw him into the game in the red zone area just to throw 2 passes. You had to settle for a field goal. Those are moments where you cannot have the mental errors, and that was solely on coaching because of the decision to remove your star quarterback who was having a great game at that moment, to make him line up at wide receiver, to bring in a cold player who's been standing on the sideline in Austin Simmons to come in to throw 2 critical passes in the red zone. You had to settle for 3 points. They're fortunate enough for their defense because the next offensive possession for the Oklahoma Sooners, they had to punt. So their defense bailed Lane Kiffin out, but just the decision, these are things that could prevent you from getting to that championship level. Critical mental errors like we saw in the first half.
Remember, I think there might be a reason why you're seeing this, because you saw this last week against Georgia a little bit. Austin Simmons was supposed to be the starter coming into the season. Austin Simmons probably came at a pretty hefty price tag. Trinidad Chambliss was supposed to be the backup. I think this might be Lane getting a little too cute, trying to keep Austin
him
Simmons
happy?
Absolutely.
Don't care about your
Definitely.
feelings.
Just to roll him out there, but it could cost them. Now, they're up big right now. It cost them on that drive. It cost them points on that drive.
Yeah.
So I just think, like to your point, it's either being too cute with the system, trying to be an offensive genius, or you're trying to keep your young quarterback happy so he's at least invested and showing that, hey, next year is going to be your team. Either way, it's an egregious coaching blunder there in that situation. Because Cardell, I mean, you had to come off the bench, but not like that in that situation. It's impossible to come off just sitting there cold, like you said. You're watching on the sideline, you're listening on the headset, and then go in there on the 5-yard line in tight windows and put a little touch on that pass. It's not easy for anybody to do.
Yeah, this is a different situation. If Simmons was the starter like he was at the beginning of the season, then you put in Chambliss in that situation. Now he's giving you a true dual threat type of opportunity,
threat,
run or pass. Simmons is the passing quarterback in this offense, strictly passing quarterback. Can he extend the play with his legs? Yes, but is he a real +1 in the running game at the quarterback position for this offense? Absolutely not. So it didn't make sense at all. But I think to Danny's point, it plays into a part of both of them keeping them happy and basically trying to keep them saying, hey, you're still part of this program, part of this team. Hopefully you're the guy next year.
Galaxy Brain here thinks next year. Does that mean Lane Kiffin is going to be there next year?
Maybe he's trying to,
Who knows?
recruit.
Maybe he wants to bring Austin Simmons back
Yeah,
to where
yeah,
he's from.
yeah.
He's from Florida.
The
Maybe he wants to bring him with him.
Players
You gotta
can
keep
move just
happy.
like coaches can move nowadays.
Either
It
way,
doesn't
we
matter.
can all agree, not the correct decision
No.
there. But
No.
Didn't
I
hurt
think
him.
we have.
Now, if it had panned out, it would have been a great play call.
But certainly more qualms with the other side of things with Oklahoma and Brent Venables saying they need some better balance there in the second half. Only 16
And how about the defense? Like the
rushing yards.
defense is supposed to
That's
be
their
so
calling card.
dominant. Ole Miss has moved the ball pretty effortlessly.
They have. How about offense and defense for the Indiana Hoosiers? Seem to be making quick work of UCLA early on in this one. Cardale, what are your early thoughts there?
Well, Indiana is showing why they're the number 2 team in the country, and arguably can be, had a conversation, I'm pretty sure, after this week, as the number 1 team in the country, taking over my Buckeyes. But right now, it's a different level of ball right now. We were saying the last couple of weeks, we were seeing UCLA playing at pretty much a whole different level from the first 3 weeks of the season. But Indiana been hot all year, and this is just another bump in the road for these guys, as we already see 35-3 in the first half. They are rolling in this one.
And some people were kind of, maybe willing it to
UCLA was
happen,
hot.
picking UCLA. And
Yeah.
3 straight wins going into this one. This is not hot, though.
No, this is not hot.
Well,
but
this is also the number 2 team in the country.
Exactly, in their backyard. Like, they're fired up. And I think Kirk Cignetti took exactly the approach he should have when he said this is a 3-0 team. There was no chance his team was going to overlook this UCLA team. I thought that was probably the best thing why you didn't see a slip up, is because UCLA did come in hot. They were on a win streak. So this Indiana team was more than ready for this opportunity to kind of smack down UCLA and put them back in their place.
This is what you're supposed to do. Remember, we talked about wanting to see exactly which Indiana team will surface. The first time being in this spot, number 2 in the nation, with all the expectations clearly in their favor. Will they come out and just dominate, or will they play with their food a little bit? Well, they're not playing around with their food. They're dominating. And this is what you're supposed to do when you're that type of team with that type of expectations. You come out and you take care of your business right now, and you continue to pile on to that said opportunity. So this is what I love to see right now. Not playing around with their food on either side of the football field. Got a defensive touchdown. Mendoza is looking really good. They're running the game well. You want to have your starters on the sideline in the fourth quarter. The start of the fourth quarter. This is what it should look like.
Yeah, and I mean this as a good thing. Fernando Mendoza threw his first interception at home this season. The fact that it's come in week 8 is absolutely nuts. But I do have to play the role of poking the bear a little bit here with our Ohio State guy. I mean, the fact that the Buckeyes are on a bye this week and Indiana is looking as good as they are, what did that mean perception-wise when we look at the number 2 team versus the number 1 team?
Well, we didn't get a chance to see the number 1 team in the country this week, but I think you still.
People forget quickly, though.
Yeah,
if
I
they
know
see
this
what's
is a
happening
what have
now.
you done for me lately
Yeah.
type of lead, and the great part about it, things continue to pan out. We have to see this matchup at the end of the season in the Big Ten championship game, with both teams potentially be number 1, number 2, and whoever number 1 doesn't matter, because if you get a chance to go to the Big Ten championship game in the Big Ten, with both of these 2 teams are very hot right now. I mean, both going to be in the college football playoffs.
Yeah, and even with Ohio State having a bye, they should not move outside of the top spot because they did not play.
Well, someone at this table is,
Who is someone?
they're famous for doing that. If you haven't seen
Not
the team.
me.
Oh, of course not you.
Not me.
Of course
I'm not
not
you.
you.
But somebody else.
It's someone over there. Like, if you ain't played this with.
But here's to your question, because I try to go by the resumes, and I thought after the win at Oregon, that was the chance to make the case for Indiana. I don't think a win over UCLA is all of a sudden some game-changing, like where you look at Indiana differently. And after seeing Ohio State in person, which we saw them last week in Madison, that's where I put Ohio State firmly in that number 1. And that wasn't exactly a resume builder either. I think what this is setting up for is the best conference championship game of all the Power 4 conferences.
Facts.
Because
I
if these 2 teams, and they should handle their business, that will be a phenomenal football game. And the one thing I'm curious to know what you think about this with the Buckeyes, my only concern with them is they're so good, they may not get tested. Like, that might be their first true test.
Well,
where they
Michigan,
look up.
that rivalry, how it
that's
go
a
any
good
given
point.
time.
That is a mental test. I
A
think that's
year
a mental
ago,
test,
they
yeah.
weren't supposed to get tested against Michigan, and they lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you think you don't know when it comes to football, which I love.
Yeah, and it goes back to my comment earlier in the show when we got the CBS game of the week with Iowa and Minnesota, rivalry game, all those things
Throw
go
it
out the window.
Yep.
Because these teams know each other so long, and so much animosity, so much hate built up over that 100-year-plus rivalry. So you're always going to be tested in that type of way. But another thing about Ohio State not really being tested to the level of the talent that they have on both sides of the ball is that you also don't want to peak too early, right? So Ohio State, Indiana, definitely, they would be their toughest opponents. And, as the schedule kind of continue to play out like it should play.
And we did expect their next game against Penn State to be a much tougher game, but of course, college football did college football things. I'm hearing that Oklahoma did score a field goal, so it's 22-13. M&M, what do we think bets right now?
M&M.
Oh,
I
I
like
like that. Okay,
The first time you heard it?
Eminem and M.
Oh, yes.
And Emily. Guys, I cannot seem to get my eyes off of UCLA plus Wait for it.
Oh, no.
45.5.
Lay 'em.
If BMAC
Lay
is
'em.
right,
Did we lay them?
I already did.
Did we
I
just
already
lay
did.
'em?
I already laid them, Mike.
Danny
Just do
did.
it.
I think we lay
45.5. If BMAC is right, and all these starters are out in the
Yeah.
fourth Q, there's no way Indiana can win this game by 46.
Wait, are we
points.
talking lay them the other way?
I'm taking the plus 45.
No way.
I thought we were
You're
laying
crazy.
'em.
You are
What do you want to
crazy.
do?
I thought we were going to lay them with Indiana.
Stick with me, Mikey. We ride together. We ride or die.
To lay them.
I know what I want to take, though. And I still believe in the ponies.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we have to.
We have to
Yeah, it
take
all
the
comes
ponies.
down
They're
to the
marching
ponies.
down. We do need the ponies. You know what? We have SMU right where we want them.
Right
we can
where we
take them there. I will say Virginia, North Carolina, when you see these first half unders, you typically see the live over come through. This could become a disgusting shootout, Emily.
All right, guys, this is what's happening right now in college football. A lot of some blowouts there, but we got a tight one there in the ACC between Virginia and North Carolina. Let's look ahead, though, to 3 ranked-on-ranked matchups in the SEC, particularly what happens when the Aggies head to Death Valley.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates
That is a rookie mistake.
or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
Would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance. They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City High. Superb finish. Pull inside. Mix on it.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger. Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills,
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Back here on HQ and take a look at what is happening right now in college football. Georgia Tech up 20-10 over Syracuse. Elsewhere in the ACC, Virginia, North Carolina still knotted up at 10. In the Big Ten, though, Indiana just running away with it, 35-3 over UCLA. We'll continue to update you on what's happening in college football, but let's take a look at the Heisman Trophy odds. They change every week, and based on who's on this list and playing a big game today, more movement is inevitable. But I want your eyes to go to number 4 there on this list, Marcel Reed. He and his number 3 ranked Aggie squad will walk into Death Valley at night. A big stage for him, a Heisman moment opportunity, a chance to maybe not be so quiet in the college football game. Because I don't know about you guys, I look at this Texas A&M team, I feel like everything they're doing it very quietly. We're not talking about them nearly enough, but they're one of many big teams in action tonight. Of course, the Oregon Ducks are hosting Wisconsin. Badgers hoping to score a point for the first time in 3 weeks. You've got Stanford, Miami looking to rebound. But we want to bring in some help to talk about this LSU game. We have former Tiger Patrick Peterson. Welcome.
How you guys doing?
Fantastic. I said on this show last week that despite LSU at the time being 5-1, they're 5-2 now, it still felt like a losing season. I don't know why. Maybe you can help me with that. What is the perception around this Tigers program this year?
Yeah, it feels like a losing season, man. We lost way too many games so far to even, put ourselves in that playoff hunt. Brian Kelly came here talking about, I came here to compete for championships, and we have yet to compete for a championship. So, yes, it's a losing season when you're not in the college playoff conversation.
Hey, Pat P, this is Cardale Jones here. Quick question about your Tigers, man. Quick question about your Tigers here, man. What is the realistic expectation for the remaining season of these Tigers right now? Already to your standard and to, I think, the world of college football standard, a disappointment. And then you even seeing like the one critical win on their schedule. You talk about Clemson. It's not even as impressive as it is now 7 weeks down in the season.
Yeah, we have to win the rest of these ball games. This is starting with the big one tonight with Texas A&M, the number 3 team in the country. I need to see Nussmeier get back on the page with his pass catchers. I need to see the defense back flying around. I know we're missing weeks. The captain of that defense kind of showed, a little bit of our Achilles heels, but also I like to see the defensive backs kind of get in these receivers' faces, man. I believe we're doing a little bit too much simulated pressures. Let's get back to what we do, and that's getting in receiver faces, putting pressure on the quarterback, and causing turnovers. So winning the rest of these games, playing fast on defense, and Nussmeier got to finish out strong.
Hey, Pat, the best thing Brian Kelly has done since being the head coach there in LSU, let's keep it professional, okay?
You got something to say. Go ahead.
Do you know each other?
Yeah, we're family.
I know. I'm just making sure the audience knows here.
I'm gonna
You
keep
guys
it
immediately
professional.
start giggling.
Yes, I got a vest on, so I'm in my professional mindset. Now, you done made me lost my thoughts. Okay, but going back to what I was going to say, Brian Kelly, the best thing he's done has been protecting the crib, playing outstanding football, winning games there at home. What makes LSU, Death Valley, that environment, so difficult for opposing teams, especially at night?
Man, it's intimidating, man. It's called Death Valley for a reason. As soon as the teams come out of the locker room, you got Mike. I don't even know which Tiger we on right now, but Mike is right. Mike is outside chilling in his little cage and ensuring that intimidating factor, as soon as before you even walk on the field. And our fans, the atmosphere, the crowd. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, you probably never been to a place that I know Cardale's going to, talk about the Horseshoe. I know B-Mac. What y'all call y'all stadium?
Doak Campbell. Don't be disrespectful.
Yeah. Doak Campbell Stadium. I know you're going to say that stadium's loud, but I'm telling you, man, it's nothing like Death Valley at night on a Saturday where it never rains. I'm telling you, it's going to be live. It's going to be crunk. It's going to make it hard for Reed to make some big plays in this game.
I mean, they might want to pull some of that crowd and see if they play offensive line, because it's been rough. So one of the wildest stats that I've seen is Garrett Nussmeier last year had 8 games where he threw 300 yards or more passing. This year, it's 0. It's pretty crazy, the difference and the lack of success they've had offensively. Is there one thing you could pinpoint it on, or is it a totality? Like, what do you think has been the biggest issue for their offense?
Honestly, defenses, and this around college football, you have been seeing less big plays. I believe this too high defense system that a lot of defenses have adopted is really taking away that big play. So teams and offenses have to dink and dunk more down the field. And as you guys know, offensive coordinators are not very, very patient to continue to dink and dunk the football all the way down the field, running, 10, 12 play drives. They love to see the fireworks. They love to see the explosions. And teams right now, defenses are doing a great job of taking that away. So we saw a lot of that last year with Nussmeier, and a lot of his receivers. It was a lot of the balls down the sideline, a lot of the big posts, a lot of the big corners. And now that these defenses are playing too high, is taking those shots away.
Well, Pat, I know you're going to be biased, and I'm ready for it. I'm expecting it. So what are we doing? Right here on HQ, you know, we always do our little bets. First and foremost, this man is a high-level athlete, and he likes tropical Sprite. Doesn't make any sense to me,
I do.
but he
I
likes.
wish I had one right here with me.
Yeah, tropical Sprite is his thing. I'm a water guy. So are we putting a big case of either tropical Sprite or water on this game? You know, I like A&M. You like LSU. What are we doing?
See what I'm talking about, people? When Miami and Florida State just played 3 weeks ago, I didn't hear from them.
You didn't call me. You should have called me. I was ready. You didn't call me. That's your fault.
Hey, Miami, Bama, or Florida State, Bama, he's ready to bet.
And you didn't call me then, so you missed your opportunity. I'm not missing mine.
Yes, I did. You had your nice little maroon outfit on. I said, man, what we doing? She said, no, I don't want to do that.
I don't remember
that. Well, of course, we could put something on it, Mac. Yes, I like my Tigers. Yeah, we could put a big case. I want the bottles, not the cans now. I want the bottle tropical Sprites, not the cans.
What do you want, Avion or Fiji? What
I want the big.
He's like smart
water?
Boss.
No, Boss. I like Boss.
Glass bottle. Glass bottle.
Yeah, glass bottle. Yeah. He can afford it. He got it.
Keeping the show very PG. I appreciate the bets between you guys. I just need to ask. I'm not a fan of LSU necessarily, but if I were, it would be just so agitating that you get like a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and you get the offense that's awesome, but the defense is the problem. Now it feels like the defense is awesome, but the offense is the problem. How do you evaluate Brian Kelly's tenure here? Because it's hard for me on the outside looking in, because it just feels like you get one thing figured out and not the other.
Yeah, it is very hard right now. And like you said, he did get the defense figured out, and now the offense seemed to not be along on the train right now. You know, so he does a great job of recruiting. I can't deny that. He gets guys in there. He gets guys in there to play hard, and guys end up going on to the next level. But now we got to find a way to put it all together so we can compete for those championships, so we can continue to be in the college football playoff conversations as the year continues going on. So now we just have to find a way to put it all together, because we have the athletes, we have the guys, we have the coaching staff, we have all the resources to get people and the players there. Now we just have to find a way to put it all together.
Certainly. Patrick Peterson, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
You got my address for my water.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, and thanks for having me. And I couldn't go without saying, go Tigers.
There we go. How about that? Yeah, Brian Kelly going to LSU to win some championships. Likely not in the college football playoff this year, but how about his old team? Notre Dame looks to be in. We'll play a little game of who's in and who's out. Stick with us here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No, that is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway in this massive clash at City High. Superb finish. Picks up
Unbelievable strike.
And that's surely the score.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger. Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again.
has to happen.
Surprise,
Dexter.
What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's tong skills.
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
A bit of a college football playoff eliminator between USF and Memphis. This is Byron Brown to Jeremiah Coger in the end zone. That's the third touchdown of the afternoon for them, and they go up 24-17. So Memphis still very much in this football game. I called it a college football playoff eliminator. Is it a consensus here at the desk? We all agree?
Yes. For sure. I mean, even with this Group of Five conference, and this is the best Group of Five conference in America right now, even if Memphis or whoever loses game find their way in that conference championship game, 2-loss Group of Five conference not going to get in over then I make the argument getting in over a 3-loss SEC team.
Can I make an unpopular opinion right now?
Go ahead.
Here we go.
As always.
I don't think the Group of Five should be guaranteed a spot in the college football playoff with 12 teams. If you are ranked that high and you have a season that's worthy of it, then by all means, go ahead. Last year, I thought Boise State was a pretty good example. Like, no one would have pushed back against that. This year, if these teams start to sleep up, to your point, if there's a 2-loss American champion, or let's say JMU is a 1-loss Sun Belt champion, if they're not in that top 12, I don't think we should just gift them a spot. It's already hard enough to get in. I think that it's just a wasted spot at this time. And ultimately, I wish the Group of Five would have their own playoff. I think that's the most fair, that's the most equitable. It's a different level of play. But guaranteeing them a spot in the 12 team, I think is a mistake.
Well, I think it's actually harder for a Group of Five team to get in there because you got 5 conferences, multiple teams.
About to be
I think
6.
About to be 6 fighting for one spot, right? Versus all the 11 other spots can potentially go to 2.5, 3 conferences.
And I think that's the direction potentially they should go in terms of the powers that be. When you look at the SOS being factored so much, the strength of schedule being factored so much amongst the Power 4 conferences, it will come a time, in my opinion, if they're going to do it the right way, if you're a Power 4 school, you're not playing against a non-Power 4 school in regular season play when you have to factor in the SOS in terms of who is seated where at the end of the day. So Danny's point makes a lot of sense in my opinion.
And it's possible. I mean, you look at what they do in basketball, March Madness and the NIT. Same thing.
Right.
So a top team like North Carolina in basketball, not have a great season, still playing the NIT and play for that championship. So. Yeah,
It's not the same, though, as March Madness.
It's not the same, but
G5
it's not the same, but you're still giving them, you're still giving them a chance to be in that playoff atmosphere and win a championship.
But when you do look at these teams' resumes, I mean, Memphis has the win over Duke, and then you've also got the win for South Florida over Florida. It's certainly Florida.
And Boise.
And Boise.
Yeah.
But they deserve a seat at the table.
I think this year, when you look at what,
if
South Florida is the representative for the Group of Five, I'm okay with that because they've shown the ability. Week 1, you take care of Boise convincingly. Then a few weeks later, you go to Florida. Whatever you want to say about Florida not being the Florida that we thought they would be, that was a difficult task in terms of being the lesser talented team in that atmosphere and finding a way to win. So this would be a year where you believe more in their resume compared to a year ago with Boise. In terms of what Boise did, their claim to fame was almost beating Oregon, and they didn't beat Oregon. But that was a great loss when you look at the committee and how they value Boise.
Yeah, well, both of these teams are in the playoff hunt. As we said, it seems like a playoff eliminator game or a game to punch their ticket. But right now, Sportsline projects JMU here. Again, once these teams battle it out, that will certainly change. But I do love the idea of JMU versus Indiana in the Kurt Signetti Bowl. So we're going to play a little game of who's in and who's out. Because as we know, nobody's writing in Sharpie right now to this playoff. Things will continually change. But we're just going straight off of how we feel at the moment. So let's start with Ole Miss. In or out?
The way this game is going right now, up 5 points in the third quarter, I am saying in.
I believe they're in also.
Okay, I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
that means in.
That's what I was
that means in. You know, what happened a week ago, controlling that ball game for at least the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. And if they can find a way to win today, yes, for sure. In.
I don't know. This is starting to feel eerily similar for Ole Miss as it did last week on the road in Athens. They held the lead for a long time in the third quarter, just like they are now. Give me an hour. Okay. If they win this game, they absolutely are in. If not, I think they're out. And I think this game hinges on it.
And if they lose, we're going to go right back to what we talked about, the mental error. Instead of getting 7, you had to settle for 3, and a great opportunity to put more points on the scoreboard.
Right now, Sportsline has Notre Dame in the bracket. Should they be in or out?
You know what? I think, jeez, I think they're out. I think they're out because I don't think that even if they run the table, is no win on their schedule, the remaining schedule to say, hey, this was a staple win for them versus 2 quality losses versus a then top 3 Miami team and then also now top 3 A&M team because. I mean, who's to say how impressive that win potentially over Navy is, which I don't think is going to be a cakewalk this year.
We all love the quality losses, don't we, here, fellas?
We don't.
I'm kidding.
We're for real.
I put like this. I'm going to take a 2-loss SEC team over a 2-loss Notre Dame team.
Yeah, you would, but the committee would not.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not on the committee.
If they ran the table, to your point, Cardell, I agree with you. I don't think they should be in because before playing SC, who just got into the top 25 when they beat Michigan the week before, every other top 25 opponent they played against, they lost. Notre Dame. So they had no quality win on their schedule until they got SC, who was ranked. Outside of that, what has Notre Dame done? But to go against you, Cardell, they're going to be in. If they win the rest of the way on their schedule, you better believe they're in. They're like the teacher favorites.
For the record, I do think they get in, but I don't think they should.
I agree.
Danny, what do you think? In or out?
I hate that they're going to get in again. They need to join a conference, first of all, because then they could have that out. They could play in a conference championship game. The ACC would be a perfect fit. The ACC would love to have them. But the argument for a Notre Dame backer would be like last year, we lost to Northern Illinois, got right, and made it all the way to the national championship game. And the other counter would be, well, you know, who are the 12 teams or 11 teams that are better than Notre Dame? And then it becomes really interesting. There is a scenario I think gets really interesting. If Miami gets left out of the ACC championship game, they're 11-1, Notre Dame is 10-2. Miami has to go in because they have the head-to-head. And if it's down to that many spots, I think it's either both Miami and Notre Dame in that situation or just Miami. But ultimately, they're already sitting at 13th. I know the selection committee could come out with a different angle, but I don't think they will. So I think as long as they hold serve, they're in. I don't love it.
They win, they're in.
And to your point about Miami, too, they're also in that same situation with Texas A&M if they drop a game. So it does hurt them in that situation with these quality losses, as we like to call them. But while we're on the subject of Miami, Danny, we'll start with you here. In or out?
In. Yeah, I think they're in. I thought that even the loss to Louisville, I didn't think it was a horrible loss. Louisville's a good team. Louisville's in the top 25. It was by 1 possession. Your quarterback had his worst game of the day. And if you look at resumes, their first 5-game stretch was as tough as almost anybody in the country. They had the Notre Dame win. They beat USF, a team we're talking about, and they resoundingly beat them at home by 3 touchdowns. The Florida wins okay. The Florida State wins okay. Those aren't that good, but they're still conference wins. So I think Miami already cleared their biggest hurdles. As long as they don't screw up again, I think they're in.
The only way I think Miami gets in if they play for the ACC title. And the reason why I feel that way, because if Miami does not and they finish with 1 loss, granted they have a credible argument, but
they're in 11-1.
The winner of the ACC title game is in for sure. So you're telling me the loser won't go? Now you're penalizing a team for playing for a championship, right? And based on what the committee has said in years past, they won't penalize a team for playing in a conference championship game. So now you're telling me 3 ACC teams gets into the playoffs. See, that's the thing that's what I'm looking at. If Miami don't play, the winner of the ACC title game gets in, and the loser will go also, regardless of how deciding that game is. So do we believe 3 ACC teams will get into the playoffs? right?
This one will be tough. Here's a scenario where that can happen. If Georgia Tech win out, which they've beaten Syracuse right now convincingly, Virginia's in a dogfight with North Carolina. Let's say Virginia pulls it out and they run the table and Georgia Tech run the table. And then Virginia beats Georgia Tech, which will be their first loss in the ACC championship game.
Georgia Tech's still going.
Georgia Tech's still going.
Yes.
Virginia clearly is in as a 2-loss team. I think they got 2 losses right now.
They have 1.
1. And then you got another 1-loss team on the outside. Which will be
All that may
Miami.
depend on the Georgia Tech-Georgia score.
Yes.
Like if it's 9 overtimes like it was
Yeah,
last year, then I think Georgia Tech is fine. But if they lose by 3 touchdowns,
Let's say they lose by 9 or 10. And to your point, Emily, there's such a thing in college football, which I hate, is a quality loss.
Yeah.
And Georgia goes on and wins the SEC, right? So now you're not going to keep Georgia Tech out.
To the
one of
SEC
those,
champion.
Yes, you're not. So that's why I'm saying I don't know how. I don't see a world in where I'm stirring the pot. That's what we do here. That's why you watch it.
With all being said, I got Miami in.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go to Texas. Let's go back to the SEC because we are talking playoffs, so we absolutely have to talk SEC. Out. I didn't even ask the question.
No, because they're out. They're not a good football team.
They out Sarkisian out.
Try to get.
By the way, Emily was all over this. It's been reported now, right? CAA and Jimmy Sexton, who repped Steve Sarkisian, said none of that came from us. It is not true. He's not interested in the NFL. He's interested in the Texas Longhorns. Nonetheless, Texas is out.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Sark or not, we're pulling Texas out of there. All right. That was a fun discussion. Who knew that we could potentially have 3 ACC teams in the college football playoff? Still a lot of ball left to be played, including one for the Bronze Pig
look at
Trophy.
this guy.
And we're bringing in an expert, Chris Hassel.
Where do you get these helmets from?
Iowa super fan. Stay tuned for that. Stick with us. What is he winding up?
Is that a Hawkeye? He's supposed to be?
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
Would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway in this massive clash at City High. Superb finish. Oh, that's it. Mix of it.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that touchdown.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger. Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This just into CBS Sports HQ. Oklahoma here, taking the lead over Ole Miss. That's Xavier Robinson punching it in on 3rd and 7, and just like that, Ole Miss's 12-point lead at the half is gone as Oklahoma now taking a 26-25 lead. I'm watching them right now. Stick with me here. They're going for 2. John Mateer with the ball.
No, he dropped it.
Okay, so it will stay
It was a low throw.
a
You got to make that throw, quarterback.
1-point game. Guys, you, Danny, I feel like the whole time we were talking about Ole Miss and pumping them up, you were saying, just wait, this could be a similar situation to what we saw at Georgia, and this is what's happening.
And I've had my eyes on Cardell's watch because we did have a little bet on that one before the game. It started to look a little better. No, so this is what makes it. I mean, this is what really good teams have to do. You have to close out football games, and Ole Miss struggled to do that last week in Athens, and it was feeling almost the same. You're feeling really good at halftime. You go into the locker room. Oklahoma goes right down the field and scores, and then all of a sudden it's like you got to respond. And for whatever reason, that Ole Miss team has not been able to respond.
Do you see what's happening right now?
Zooming in on that watch. Oh, looks pretty.
Wait, why did you bet your watch? You're clearly feeling very confident.
I did not. I feel very confident
That's
about.
true.
Actually,
that was instigated by Danny. I need
actually,
to
it was. Yeah, I took Ole Miss plus 5.5, and I said lunch.
And you're still in a good spot.
And I'm still in a real good spot right now.
Yeah,
but I still
think 5.5.
I still think Ole Miss finds a way to pull this out, man. I think they just got to get back to the basics here. Lane Kiffin has been historically known to beat himself in these type of situations.
Boy, what you talk about.
And going back to that Georgia loss last week is a prime example. And now we're seeing things unfold in the second half where that 12-point lead should have been a 17-point lead completely just vanished.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing about trying to be a championship caliber team. You have to learn how to not lose before you learn how to win.
You got to play with the lead, learn how to play with the lead, too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They don't know how to finish the drill in the second half. Get back to running the football with Lacey. He had success in the first half. Don't make this thing an arms race, especially when you're playing with house money. Take strategic chances, but run the football. Shorten the game, run the football. The clock is at your disposal when you have a double-digit second half lead.
Yep.
And these are the issues that have followed Lane Kiffin while at Ole Miss, especially when playing against ranked teams on the road. We saw it last week. See, that's the thing about great coaching, guys. When you have a mishap the week before, usually you efface that out of the game plan the next week. And you put forth a better effort. But clearly, granted, there's a lot of ball left to be played, but they haven't learned anything from Athens experience a week ago against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, less than 1 minute left in the third quarter. A whole quarter left
loss
to be played. But here on HQ, we'll
loss.
continue to keep you updated on what's happening in that game. But we're, of course, counting you down to the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy game between Minnesota and Iowa. Our friend Jenny Dell will be on the sidelines for that game, and she caught up with Kirk Ferentz.
Coach, you've been part of this rivalry for more than 2 decades. What makes this matchup so special?
It's just always intense. And when I was here as an assistant in the 80s, it was probably our most bitter rivalry, quite frankly. So it's evolved a little bit, but it's always usually really tightly contested, and it's all about getting the pig at the end.
You had a little bit of a scary moment a few weeks back with your quarterback, Gronowski, going down.
Yeah.
Just a bone bruise right now, but how is he managing using that brace? How comfortable is he out there?
He says he would have scored last week if he didn't have it on, but the good news was all the testing was positive, and he worked really hard to get back. I'm not sure he's 100% yet, but he's getting closer, and but he overcomes it with just such a great attitude and great leader.
You mentioned that one of the keys is to stop Darius Taylor out there. How do you do it?
He's such a good running back, and he has been that way for 2 years prior. So he's a big challenge, and they've got a good line, obviously. They usually do, and tight ends that block well, and they're throwing the ball well. So they're a diverse attack, and we're just going to have to. But I know this: it's a long day if you can't stop the run. I do know that.
Enjoy the day, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, Shane.
Well, someone who has been a part of the rivalry for quite some time. There's only one phone call we make when we're talking Iowa. It's Chris Hassel, Iowa superfan. How we doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I know we call it a rivalry because they play for a trophy, but to Iowa fans, this really isn't a rivalry because Iowa always wins. Iowa's won 9 of 10. You know, Minnesota fans chant, "We hate Iowa" before every game that they play, even if they're playing Ohio State. They chant, "Who hates Iowa? We hate Iowa." It's not that kind of rivalry for Iowa. It's just kind of little brother that Iowa looks to keep down each and every year. And the only way Minnesota wins is via a bad call like a couple of years ago on the Cooper DeJean punt return for a touchdown.
Remember that one.
Chris
I want to
Haslam's
know.
feeling some type of way.
Yeah. I want to know what filter he's using because he looks young. Skin
Right?
looks good. Haas. I
Stunning.
like that, man. Must have a Snapchat filter on the Zoom. Look at that skin looks clean. Can you give me a little, as somebody who's watched a lot of Iowa football this year, Mark Gronowski, I thought he was going to come in and really lead to an explosive offense this season. While we haven't seen the explosive numbers, he's still been effective in large part with his legs. What do you think from Gronowski's play? Has he made that much of a difference in an offense that's been struggling for almost a decade now?
He has, because the quarterbacks that Iowa had in the past, Cade McNamara, Deacon Hill, Spencer Petras, they couldn't do anything. Like, they weren't throwing it. They couldn't move. They couldn't run the ball. So even though Gronowski hasn't thrown a touchdown pass since, I don't know, the Massachusetts game in early September, he's rushed for 7 touchdowns in that span. So he is actually leading an offense that's not that bad. I know you look at the total in this game, and it's 39.5, and it's like, oh, it's the same old Hawkeyes. No. And they showed that last week. Like, they were down double digits to Penn State, and the offense scored on 3 straight drives to come back and win that game. It is a totally different feel and vibe with the offense because Mark Gronowski can actually move the ball down the field, even if it is just with his legs at this point.
This is a rivalry from the standpoint, like you said, that there is a trophy on the line. And Chris, it's a spectacular trophy. Let's be real. Anytime you make a pig and you make it in bronze, it's going to be something that we get excited about. It's so Big Ten, it hurts. But what are the top 5, maybe we'll give you 5, rivalry trophies in college football? Where does the Floyd of Rosedale land on that list?
I mean, I think Floyd is definitely up there. It's great because of the backstory. Like, in the mid-30s, these teams almost had to shut down the rivalry because it was getting so dangerous, and they were threatening to, like, the fans were going to come on the field and riot. So the governors got together, lighten the mood. They said, hey, winner of this game gets a prized hog. And that was Floyd. Pigs don't live very long, so they ended up making it a trophy. I've got it number 2 on my list. And my number 1 is a trophy that you probably have never seen because it was never awarded, because it was part of cancel culture. It was canceled before Iowa and Iowa State were even able to play for it. You probably know the Cy-Hawk Trophy. We've seen it contested on CBS in recent years. But about 15 years ago, they changed the trophy, and they were going to give away a statue of a pewter farm family with a dad, like, presenting his son with a stalk of corn. And there was so much pushback from Iowa and Iowa State as to how bad the trophy was that they actually had to cancel it and never give it away. And it's behind lock and key somewhere. I know some people that know where it's at, but it has been locked away for about 15 years because people hated it so much. That's my favorite because that just never happens. Like, you never get that much pushback where a corporation, because there was a corporation behind it, would say, you know what, this is getting bad press. We're not going to give this away.
That is a fantastic history lesson. I was able to Google it, Chris. You described it perfectly.
Do we not have a picture of it? I told producer Noah specifically. There's one thing we have to have in this segment, and it is a picture of the Pewter family trophy. And he said, no problem. I'll have it for you. And apparently he doesn't. Well done, Noah.
Man, I wish we could hear from Noah. He just goes, we can't even say goodbye to Chris. That is Noah's way of saying we're moving on from this man. Hey, get excited for big time on CBS. Minnesota at Iowa, 3:30 CBS. Stream it on P+. You know the deal. Stick with us here on HQ. We are counting you down to kickoff in this big game. Stay with us. More talk next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No, that is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
Feel UEFA Champions League. Every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns a company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman. New season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City Eye. Superb finish. Pull it back. Mix up.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King. New season now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise,
Dexter.
What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's tong skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Let's get you some updated scores here on CBS Sports HQ. South Florida taking a 17-point lead over Memphis in the driver's seat for the CFP berth. UVA, UNC knotted up at 10, but we are keeping an eye on Ole Miss, currently in the red zone right now, down 1 to Oklahoma.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
Would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League. Every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns a company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman. New season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City Eye. Superb finish. Pull it back. Mix up.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King. New season now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter.
What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Back here on college football pregame on CBS Sports HQ. Half an hour until kickoff in Iowa City. You're taking a live look into some warm-ups.
Love the All Black.
Minnesota, Iowa. You like that All Black?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good at home, too. Per our friend Chris Hassel that just joined us, though, this isn't a rivalry, though, for Iowa.
Did you hear
They're
that
just not
elitist mentality?
Not really into it. It's a one-sided thing. Minnesota's the only one that cares about us. Hey, guess what? College football fans, all FanDuel customers get a shot to boost their winnings every Saturday. This is what you have to do. Claim your boost, apply it to your college football bet for a shot at even bigger winnings. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and play your game. Let's get a little parlay pick. Guys, we doing all right?
We're feeling good.
Feeling good. So far, the early afternoon one we made is looking. Shout out to Ponies.
The Ponies are up. Ole Miss just scored a tutty. Huge for the morning parlay, but the beautiful thing about college football Saturdays is we have a plethora of more games in the afternoon slate and on that we can bet on.
Yeah, you do this thing where you open your phone, you go, oh my God, there's more games, I need more.
Yes, correct. Click the button, click the button, click the button. 4-leg parlay for you guys for 3:30 and beyond. Some of these are layups.
Some of these are layups.
Some of them are disgusting.
Yeah, it's true. And we might be going back to a famous one. But
well, let's start with what we know, and that's Iowa State.
Come on.
Money line. If you think BYU is going to go in there and stay undefeated, you are just lying to yourself. The Big 12 is a mess and is going to stay a mess for the foreseeable future. Take Iowa State.
Yeah, and second layup, just Tennessee money line. Kentucky's a basketball school. They only looked good last weekend because they played Texas, who I think is not good.
Correct.
So now you get Tennessee just steamrolling.
Yeah.
Just get the basketballs back up and moving over in Kentucky.
So let's get those two out of the way. Now things start to get a little bit weird. Little plus 7.5 or somewhere on this parlay.
Mississippi State with the points against Texas. Again, I just don't think Texas is a good team. I don't think Arch is a good quarterback. And now you're getting them going into cowbells.
Yes.
And the cowbells, that'll keep you up for a couple days.
They're nice.
They're nice.
What we are going to do, Emily, is go right back into the trench. Wisconsin.
Just 7.
Team total.
It's just 7.
All you need is 7 this week. Surely you can't get shut out 3 weeks in a row. It'd be statistically impressive.
And you'd go, man, that team total has to be higher than the last time you took it. Nope, it's actually a point lower. So we needed 8 last week. Now we need 7 this week. And we will take it all the way down until it's just 1 point.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're going to get back in that trench because if they score and our money's not on it, we're going to be upset.
I'm going to be upset.
Plus 633 for this 4-legger. Iowa State money line, Tennessee money line, Mississippi State plus a 7.5, and sweet Wisconsin Badgers.
Looking it down there.
Over 6.5. Give me a garbage time touchdown, kids.
Haven't you learned from your mistakes last week, guys? They absolutely can get shut out 3 games in a row. Oh, my goodness. Well, college football fans, all FanDuel customers get a shot to boost their winnings every Saturday. All you got to do is claim your boost, apply it to your college football bet for a shot at even bigger winnings. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and play your game. This just in, Ole Miss retaking the lead against Oklahoma. That's Trinidad Chambliss moving around and finding Trace Bruckler for an 8-yard touchdown. They did go for 2. It failed, so that lead is now at 5 points with less than 11 minutes left to go.
Emily.
In the fourth quarter. Yes,
They went for 2 and they brought in Austin Simmons.
What'd you think about that?
You know how I feel about it.
Great play call.
We don't need to relitigate because we saw that happen in the first half, and it did not make you
brought in a cold
very happy. Even though they're leading this game, you're still shaking your head, B-Mac.
I don't like just dumb decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
It didn't make any
makes
sense.
no sense.
It seems like a lot of good decisions are being made via Kirk Cignetti. I mean, 56-6, just absolutely obliterating UC UCLA right now. A tie game, though, between Virginia and North Carolina, all knotted up at 10 apiece. But we are keeping our eyes peeled on what is happening at 3:30 on CBS between Minnesota and Iowa. And we talked about this defensive struggle that's going to happen, but these are two one-loss teams in the Big Ten. If you're somebody that roots for some chaos, like potentially Indiana taking a loss, which is absolutely not happening today, or maybe Ohio State. No, don't worry, they're not going to take a loss. But as we look at this game in the grand scheme of things, what's at stake, Cardell?
I think just outside of that beautiful piglet of a trophy there,
Piglet?
just bragging rights. Yeah, the hog. Iowa has a chance to win 10 of the last 11, extending that win streak in this historic rivalry and bragging rights. And ultimately, you know, these two teams right now are still somewhat in the mix of a Big Ten championship if you continue to win out. But I don't see Indiana or Ohio State losing anytime soon. So more bragging rights and to ultimately Iowa to keep that hog.
Now, when you look at the Big Ten in totality, we believe they will get anywhere between 3 to 4 teams in the playoffs. But in terms of that fifth potential spot, not knowing exactly the chaos that might take place elsewhere in Power 4 conferences, who knows? That's why this game is so important, because right now when you look at the top echelon, you got Ohio State, you got Indiana, you got Oregon. Everything else is wide open in terms of that fourth spot. If the Big Ten is able to get four teams in, the fourth spot is a traffic jam of like teams. You got SC, you got Iowa, you got Minnesota. Heck, you even got Northwestern in terms of where they are, especially in the conference standings. So this is a very, very important game when you look at the ramifications that could come from either the winner or the loser, because like I said, that fourth spot is wide open and it's there for the taking.
And neither of these teams play Ohio State or Indiana, but both do play Oregon, so there is a chance to maybe take a win from them. If we go back out to Iowa City, we're going to hear from our friend Jenny Dell, who caught up with PJ Fleck ahead of this one.
Coach, you're 1-7 in this matchup. What is it about this rivalry that just makes it so difficult to come out on top?
You had to bring that up, huh?
Sorry.
No, listen, that's what makes this rivalry really special. We've had a lot of one-possession games with them. The whole focus is just a one-game championship season. When you're playing a rivalry, you never know what you're really going to get. And if it comes down to that one-possession game, got to find a way to be 1 point on top.
You mentioned that Kinnick Stadium is one of the hardest places in the country to play. How did you prepare your freshman quarterback to come out here and battle?
It was pretty hostile. We went inside, because I don't think outside you can really dictate what this is really going to feel like on game day. He's played in a lot of hostile environments. He was at Ohio State, but I told him this is a little bit of a different animal. And we did a lot of special things inside the indoor. They had a lot of things pumped into not only the music, but a lot of things that they might hear from the crowd that's right on top of you. We kept it as clean as we possibly could, but every single player got it, if you know what I mean, where they were all focused on, their names were yelled loud, and some type of excerpt was right after that. So we made them feel at home.
If Minnesota comes out on top today, you're carrying that trophy home, what's the one thing that you saw your team do?
Stop the run and find a way to make sure 11's not a big part of this football game.
Thank you so much. Good luck out there.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jenny.
We were lucky enough to talk to PJ Fleck earlier this morning ahead of this game, and I don't know about you guys, I was kind of ready to run through a wall for him. We know the mantra, row the boat, a beautiful statement that he uses with all of his teams, and all his guys really emulate that. Danny, would you like to play for a guy like PJ Fleck? What do you think that'd be like?
Yeah, he's a great motivator. I think he's very positive. He's upbeat. When he asks how he's doing, he's like, I'm elite. I'm feeling great. So yeah, absolutely. I've known him for a while, going back to when he took the job, covered him at Western Michigan when he built up that program. I think he's probably one of the more underrated, underappreciated coaches in the league and maybe even the country. And yet they just extended him like they know what they've got, and somebody who can put out a consistent winner at Minnesota. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of underrated coaches, how about Kalani Sitake at BYU in a massive game today? One of 6 undefeated teams in college football right now. The Cougars are at 7-0. They face Iowa State, who's feeling pretty good right now. Say what you want about Kalani Sitake, but BMAC, that man can win some college football games. I know there's a lot of hate when it comes to BYU and the schedule that they've played so far, but 7-0 for the second straight season isn't anything to get too excited about.
7-0 with a freshman quarterback, right? A guy who was kind of, not thrown into the fire, but an opportunity presented itself to bear, and he took advantage of it. He hasn't looked back. The thing I love about BYU is their style of play. They're physical. They don't try to trick you. They do things the generic, organic way, and they just play harder for longer. And with them, in terms of the respect or the disrespect, Emily, they're going into this matchup against Iowa State as the only undefeated team on the field, but they're the underdogs. The respect is not there for BYU, and I think they love it because they're kind of under the radar. You know, they love being under the radar. It's almost like me against the world mentality for their team, and that's how they attack every ball game, and that's what I'm looking to see from this BYU team once again. And like I said earlier in the show, their defense can play football on all three levels. It's hard to score points against them, and they do not miss tackles. I love the ability to get the ball carrier down, and I expect for that same mentality to follow them against the Iowa State Cyclones.
Danny, what do you think about number 47?
The
quarterback.
To BMAC's point, I mean, he was a true freshman. He was thinking he was backing up Jake Retzlaff. Then all of a sudden they have issues. He transfers, goes to Tulane, and you are thrust into action. We were talking about this early in the show. I think he just kind of, sometimes you're 18 years old, it's your first time there, and you just start playing ball, and you don't even realize like how special you're playing and what your team is doing. And I think that could be a really good thing. You're not feeling the pressure of college football yet. He's been great. He's been taking care of the football. He's more of a clearly running style quarterback. I hate the number 47, by the way. I don't know what you're doing. He said he's worn it all along, but we all wore different numbers in Pee Wee. You can change it to an actual quarterback number, but he knows the identity. He knows he's got a defense on the other side of the ball, so he takes pretty good care of the football. It's been a great story, and Kalani Sitake is absolutely, they have a very clear identity of what they want to be, and that consistency makes them a consistent winner.
When I think of great quarterbacks and identity, I go to Nashville, which is not a place you typically go. But when we talk about this Missouri-Vanderbilt game, obviously all eyes are, of course, on Diego Pavia. But the Tigers kind of pride themselves in being the Pavia killer because he is 0-2 against Missouri. What can we expect from Pavia here on this stage today?
What we've been seeing all season for Diego Pavia in that Vandy offense, high-power offense, definitely getting done on the running game. And when you look at both quarterbacks in Pavia and Pobula from the Tigers, both guys are very similar. Both guys came into their programs respectively over the last 2 years with Pavia in this past year, and giving an offense a different spark and a different identity. This is going to be a tough one down in Nashville. All the stars are going to be out, and I don't know the last time, not in my lifetime, I was able to say that a big game is happening down in Nashville, and it wasn't the Tennessee Titans.
How seriously should we take his Heisman candidacy? Because he's been moving his way up the ranks. He's a good player on a good team with a great story, and not somebody that does anything quietly, B-Mac.
When you look at in terms of Heisman, and we're talking about Diego, correct?
Mm-hmm. The fact that you have to ask should say something.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page. But honestly, there's a lot of value because the thing about Diego and his style of play, he's very, very productive. Mm-hmm. And he is a dual threat at the quarterback position, which is important in terms of the overall stat side of things. And he is a fan favorite. Yeah. They like him. The media likes him. They love his energy. They love his bravado and how he goes about his business. And if they're able to continue to win ball games, that's the most important thing. And with winning, with him putting forth the numbers that we've seen over the last few weeks, his value, I think, improves. So I think if you really love the value in terms of what he has and you want to put something on the Heisman, I think throw something on his name because look at the rest of the way they got the game today against Mizzou. Yep. You got Tennessee coming down the pipe. Or no, they already played Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope, they play them at the end of the
season. In the season. Yep. We're another ranked game. I can't remember the rest of the schedule, but they still have some intriguing games. If they went out and he balls out, that helps his case in terms of the Heisman conversation.
We shouldn't totally rule it out, right?
Yeah.
Diego Pavia? Heisman?
I wouldn't put money on it.
No, okay. Well, Danny,
it's a statistical award. He's got a lot to do statistically to catch up. So I think he can get to New York, which is incredible. Yes. I don't think he can win it.
All he wants to do, though, is win a national championship at Vanderbilt, which doesn't seem too crazy as it did this summer. But, hey, we are counting you down to kick off between Minnesota and Iowa. We have more in-progress updates here on this College Football Saturday.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No, that is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes. New season streaming October 29, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City Eye. Superb finish.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman. New season streaming November 16th, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park. All seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Now you can watch the funniest movie of the year at home.
Is he serious?
You better believe it.
Only one comedy goes all the way.
You've made me a very happy woman.
Me too.
The Naked Gun.
Rated PG-13, now streaming on Paramount Plus. This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This just in from UNC versus Virginia. Deep shot for Gio Lopez here with 20 seconds left. He's got a man, but oh, it's picked off. Ugh, so end of regulation, this one 10-10, which means we have overtime and a chance for Bill Belichick to win his first Power 4 game, first conference game as head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. We've been kind of keeping our eye on this one and wondering what is happening. We're going to break that down in a bit, but let's tell you what else is happening in the sport. Of course, our eyes go straight to Ole Miss, Oklahoma. The Sooners with the ball right now in the fourth quarter, but Ole Miss has that 5-point lead. But I want to go back to North Carolina and Virginia. Of course, we have our two Seminoles on the other side of the desk going, how did we lose to this team? What's going on right now in this game? Why is nobody putting points on the board?
It's been a very, very sloppy football game. North Carolina's got to be shooting themselves in the foot just thinking about like with the way this game has unfolded. Lope, that was his second interception. They also had a fumble. And they're still, you would think you'd be in control of the game, potentially winning it. And for Virginia, Tony Elliott's got to be just thinking, holy cow, did we come out flat, noon game? Nobody's giving North Carolina much credit. They haven't been too sharp offensively. Chandler Morris, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. This is disaster for the ACC. Earlier we're talking about, the conference potentially getting 3 teams in. Virginia losing to North Carolina, that type of loss just does not look good for the conference.
And you look at Virginia, defensively, they've done what they're supposed to do, right? They've limited the options offensively for UNC. They forced a turnover with UNC, getting ready to score, similar to what we saw last week and how they lost the game on the road against Cal. So they've given their offense extra possessions. The offense has just been sloppy in areas, and because of that slow start and not just being efficient, they're in an overtime situation for North Carolina. And if Bill Belichick is able to win this ball game, this would be his signature win so far this season for his team with his tenure being there in Chapel Hill.
This is a ranked team coming into Chapel Hill. Collective Soul was the band in the Chapel Thrill series, getting the team ready to go. You can see that out on the field today. They had a band every
home game?
Ludacris
was earlier, those breakfast concerts. How about this? Trinidad Chambliss with a 43-yard deep shot. That's Winston Watkins bringing it in, so that brings them to the Oklahoma 10.
Let's see if they take him out again.
Yard line. This is where it happens, right?
Yeah, they get
as soon
inside
as they
the 5.
get in a goal-to-go situation, they automatically bring in the backup quarterback to throw some passes. But this one, super close. I mean, they got to get 7 here. Right,
they're settling for 3 points now, Emily.
They're settling. Okay.
Yeah.
Just as I say that, yeah, 4th and goal. So the Oklahoma defense gets that stop. Overall, though, as we look at this OU defense, I'll go to you. How are we looking at it?
This is a tough one. We talked about this before the game. OU statistically is the second best defense in all of college football, only giving up less than 10 points a game. But
Second
you look
to who,
on
real quick?
Some team in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, just making sure.
Something like Ohio State, something like that. But anyways, so but you look at the offense they play, you say, who have they played?
Yeah.
Right? They won the Red River rivalry versus the Texas Longhorns.
They lost that one.
They lost that one. Faced a Texas team that had a lot of high power things going on offense, and this is the first true test for their defense. And at this point, I wouldn't say they're folding. Now they got to get some things handled on the offense side of the ball, continue to take advantage of the opportunities. But this Ole Miss team ain't going away no time soon.
Yeah.
Here is the 37-yard attempt. That looks to be pretty good there. So they do take a 2-score lead, but they get the stop where it matters, but they gave up the big play before that, B-Mac. What do you think of this OU defense?
Now, I mean, there have been some issues, and I would say they should be fortunate that it's been raining, because if it was a clear day, who knows what Trinidad Chambers and his offense would have done against OU. But they got the necessary stop. To your point, Emily, they forced the Rebels to attempt the field goal, which they converted. Now it's up to John Mateer. John Mateer has been spotty in this entire ball game. Heck, John Mateer has been spotty since returning from his injury, and I understand people will probably say he's not 100% healthy. Well, at this point, you still got to find a way to deliver the goods. You know what I mean? So that's not what we haven't seen that he's been outperformed by Trinidad Chambers. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're down 8. So you still have an opportunity to get right back in this ball game. They need a drive from John Mateer in the OU offense.
That's true, and I will say you'll be happy about this. I don't know if Ole Miss fans will be happy necessarily, but that last sequence went with a Trinidad Chambers run for a loss of 4 yards, Keywan Lacey run, loss for 2 yards, and another Keywan Lacey run, loss for 4 yards. So you lose, but you didn't bring in Austin Simmons. You didn't get
Maybe
cute.
they've learned.
You ran the football like you asked.
Maybe they
took time off the football left to be played.
It took time off also.
Certainly. We got our final thoughts coming up for this 3:30 window. Stick with us here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can't always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Each of you will represent your hometown.
These 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes. New season streaming October 29, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway in this massive clash at City A. Superb finish.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park. All seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Now you can watch the funniest movie of the year at home.
Is he serious?
You better believe it.
Only one comedy goes all the way.
You've made me a very happy woman.
Me too.
The Naked Gun.
Rated PG-13, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount+.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Back here on CBS Sports HQ, you're taking a live look at Kinnick Stadium ahead of Minnesota and Iowa coming up in less than 5 minutes over on CBS. A beautiful day in Iowa City, and all that's left to do for us is to pick this game. But before we give you our picks, real quick, guys, just final thoughts ahead of this Big Ten matchup. Start us off.
Oh, man, I think that hog is a pretty cool trophy. And it was pretty cool to hear from Chris and learn a little bit about the history of it. So I like it.
Yeah, if you love defense, this is the game for you. And if you don't, so what? Watch it anyway. Quality play. Two teams on the outside looking in terms of the playoff conversation. Like I said earlier, I think the Big Ten will get 4, maybe 5 teams in the playoffs.
I'm excited to see this. I think Iowa's kind of playing for their playoff hopes. They are the favorite in this game. They do play Oregon at home. And remember, they played Indiana at home and had maybe Indiana's biggest challenge to date. They only lost by 5 points. So I think Iowa here, if they could get a win, they take another step closer to knocking on that door.
7 points is the difference between Iowa being undefeated this year and having 2 losses. Of course, taking that loss to Iowa State, which they don't like to be reminded of. Let's make the pick, though. I think Iowa fans are going to like what we have to say.
Yeah, you know, I got Iowa on this one. Iowa have I know both teams on the offense are bottom of the Big Ten, but they have the most explosive offense of this game. And I think ultimately being at home as well give them that edge and winning 9 of the last 10 games in this rivalry. I think Iowa notched their 10 in the last 11.
Yeah, for me, I'm right there with you. It's hard for me to believe a freshman quarterback will come into Iowa and come out with a win. And also, too, you look at Minnesota on the road, they play better football at home. If this was a home opportunity for Minnesota, I might feel differently, but with them being on the road to see how they've struggled on the road so far, 0-2, I take the Hawkeyes.
Iowa's quarterback, Mark Gronowski, is the difference with his legs. That's really the element he's added to this offense. We talked to Chris Hassel about it. He can get outside, he can extend plays, so I think Iowa wins as well.
Gronowski coming off a game in which he rushed for over 100 yards. First time that's happened for Iowa since 1973. So, yeah, it's been a while since they've had that running element at quarterback. That's all we have to say. Go change it over to CBS, but keep us here on HQ because we're going to keep you updated on everything that's happening in the world of college football. We are your second screen. Your first screen, though, 3:30, big time, CBS, Minnesota at Iowa.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start.
What?
You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play. בקיבוץ? בוא נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
Each of you will represent your hometown.
These 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes. New season streaming October 29, exclusively on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City A. Superb finish. Oh, that's it. Picks up.
Unbelievable strike.
And that's surely the Scudetto.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount+.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, New season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park. All seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Now you can watch the funniest movie of the year at home.
Is he serious?
You better believe it.
Only one comedy goes all the way.
You've made me a very happy woman.
Me too.
The Naked Gun.
Rated PG-13. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Continuing to bring you that breaking news out of the NFL, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is going to miss his third straight game on Sunday when the Ravens take on the Bears. Jackson's still dealing with a hamstring injury. He was unable to put in a full practice this week. That means Snoop Huntley will get the start on Sunday against Chicago. He was elevated from the practice squad to the 53-man roster on Friday. Here to talk about it in our CBS Sports HQ studios, Haley Sutton alongside Bryant B. Mac McFadden and Danny Cannell. Gentlemen, kind of surprising news, I guess, because we saw Lamar Jackson initially. The team said he had a full day of practice on Friday. Things were trending in the direction of him getting that start. And then we saw Snoop Huntley on the practice squad. And now all of a sudden, Lamar Jackson set to miss his third game. Danny, I'll come to you as my resident quarterback on here. It's the third week, but this almost feels worse because you thought you were going to get Lamar back, and instead it's Snoop Huntley.
Yeah, this one's got to be, devastating for the Ravens because you felt like you were getting close. Although I will say, these type of injuries, the hamstring, you do not want to rush back. So I'm sure there's a lot of conversations that have taken place between Lamar and the medical staff as far as what could potentially be done if you say he's feeling 80%, 90%, and he could play. But then all of a sudden, if you go out there and all of a sudden the player that he is, the quick twitch, the ability to make plays with his legs, if he tried to put it in full gear, could that potentially be a setback? And with their schedule coming up, with a short week after this game, I'm sure they were a little bit cautious. And when you're dealing with a franchise quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you do not want to risk losing him for an extended period of time, even though it's already been that, by rushing him back. So I'm sure they're taking the ultra cautious approach.
And I'm okay with this, even though they have no room for error when you look at currently being 1-5. You don't want to put the franchise in harm's way for 1 week when you look at Lamar Jackson and the injury to his hamstring. Now with Snoop Huntley, I always felt like he was a better option at the backup spot than Cooper Rush because of his mobility and the athleticism that he has. It kind of fits what they do with Lamar Jackson. Granted, Snoop Huntley is nowhere close to being the same playmaker that Lamar Jackson is, but when you look at the comparing of Snoop and Cooper Rush in terms of how they run the offense, and he's been a part of the organization before in years past, Snoop Huntley seems to be the better option. And yes, we've seen some line movement since the news came out that Lamar Jackson won't be participating, but they still have the Baltimore Ravens as a 1-point favorite. Granted, it could be considered a pick 'em, but just them still being a favorite clearly tells us, the odd makers out in Vegas, do believe Snoop Huntley still gives them a fighting chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, that's a great point. The Ravens came into this one as a 6.5-point favorite, as you mentioned, but now that line's sitting at 1.5. We did just show the schedule there for a moment, and this is something that we've been talking about, since the beginning of the season when they started losing the games. We have this note from our research team. The Ravens can become the first team since 1999 to clinch its preseason win total in 7 games or fewer. We've also talked about teams that start 1-3, 1-4, and the difficulties it is to get to the postseason. I say all of that to say, gentlemen, when you look at this schedule, 3 straight road games coming up. Danny, you mentioned it. They've got a short week with Thursday Night Football here in South Florida. What's the point for the season at this point? I mean, if you've got a hamstring on your quarterback that's holding him back, you're 1-5 coming into this one with 3 straight road games. It feels very bleak.
But as a player, you can't lean into that mentality. So what is the season outlook?
No, I mean, as a player on the Ravens, I'm sure they're looking at saying, we just got to get our guy back. But usually when you're without your quarterback, no matter who it is, but especially when you're talking about an MVP type player, you're just hoping to go 500. Like, can we just split games until we get our guy back? And they've been unable to win anything without him. Now, granted, he's not been the only player hurt. This whole team has been just, ravaged with injuries out there. But when you do look at the schedule, I think the Thursday night football is a big part of why Lamar Jackson is not playing this weekend, because that would be way too many games to ask him to play a short period of time. So I almost expect him to come back for that Thursday night game against the Dolphins. But when you look at the schedule as it's coming up, there's not a game on there you look at it and you say they can't win. Like, it's pretty favorable. So I feel like the Ravens, even though statistically, historically, you look at it and say they don't